Right. We will start it again. Okay. Right. So today we will discuss ene reaction. What is an ene reaction? Ene reaction is a 2 sigma s plus 2 pi s plus 2 pi s reaction where an allylic hydrogen will be transferred to an alkene so that there will be a bond formation, sigma bond formation between the two alkene and allyl carbon, and the double bond in allyl system will undergo rearrangement. So it will be migrated to the next position. Okay. So this is what ene reaction is. So altogether it is a 6 electron reaction. So we are studying it under this cycloaddition reactions. So how to predict whether it is an ene reaction or not? It's a very simple thing. If you have an allylic hydrogen, that means allyl system and a hydrogen on the allyl carbon, and if you are given an alkene, an additional alkene, then obviously it is under thermal conditions it is ene reaction, because under thermal conditions we don't expect 2 plus 2 cycloadditions. If it is photochemical conditions, yes, 2 plus 2 will be possible, but under thermal conditions we don't have 2 plus 2 cycloadditions. So if you are given 2 alkenes and you are asked to expect the product, it is very simple whether we want to know whether it is an ene reaction or not. Yeah, if you have an allylic hydrogen, then it is an ene reaction. This mechanism is an allowed concerted reaction. How do we explain the mechanism of ene reaction using molecular orbitals? We will take the HOMO of allyl system, and there is a hydrogen on allylic carbon. So this represents allylic hydrogen, and we are treating this with an alkene. So the ene reaction occurs between HOMO of allylic system and LUMO of alkene. When we say it is HOMO of allyl system, it is Psi2, which will have a node between them. So if it is positive lobe, it should be positive lobe. Then it is LUMO, which is again a Psi2. For bonding interaction, what we will do, we will make it positive lobe, and we will make this also a positive lobe. So this is a Psi2 in case of allyl system. This is a Psi2 in case of alkene. Right. Now we can clearly see that the transfer of hydrogen is a suprafacial. So this is 1s orbital of hydrogen. So it is a suprafacial bonding interaction. So hydrogen can easily transfer. At the same time, we can also see that the bonding interaction, again it is a suprafacial bonding interaction. That means a sigma bond can easily form between these two orbitals. So this is how we can easily say that ene reaction is a suprafacial bond formation reaction. We will start with some simple examples for ene reaction. Whenever we have a carboxylic acid and an alpha carbon to carbonyl, when we heat this, it easily undergoes decarboxylation, right? how this decarboxylation is occurring. Actually, this decarboxylation is an example for ene reaction. We will rearrange this, okay, so that we can easily understand. Right. See, it's an intramolecular ene reaction where this carbonyl oxygen will pick up the proton on carboxylic acid. Then carbon oxygen bonding electrons will be migrated, polarized towards carbonyl, carboxylic acid carbonyl. So it forms a double bond, C double bond O. Then this bond will break, carbon carbonyl bond. So it becomes an enol. It becomes an enol plus carbon dioxide. So this enol will undergo tautomerization to give the ketone. So this is a simple ene reaction, intramolecular ene reaction. Yeah, we have this allylic system, double bond is there, and the next position oxygen. So it is an allylic system. We have allylic proton. We have a double bond. Okay, so altogether it is an intramolecular ene reaction. So these are called beta keto acids. They undergo easy decarboxylation. Not only this, I'll also give you one more example for a simple intramolecular ene reaction where we used to read this example. Whenever you have a tertiary N oxide, when we heat this, it undergoes Cope elimination so that ammonium salt will be leaving out. So what is this Cope elimination? Cope elimination is again an ene reaction. Right here, of course, double bonds are not there, but it is something of that kind. So O minus will pick up this proton. So the proton electrons in carbon hydrogen bond will be polarized like this, so that nitrogen will be leaving. So what we are getting is NN dialkyl hydroxylamine and an alkene. So this is Cope elimination, and when we look at this, yes, here it is 6 sigma electrons, not pi electrons, but still it is almost like a Cope, almost like a ene reaction. Now we will see some examples on ene reactions. When we were given a problem like this, now under thermal conditions, what we can look for, obviously we should not think about 2 plus 2 cycloaddition. So it should be an ene reaction. See, look, there is no other possible reaction here, right? Okay. Now, if you want to have an ene reaction, first look for the allylic proton. Yeah, this is the double bond where we have an allylic carbon. So on the allylic carbon, we also have a proton. Then you just rearrange this in a 4 plus 2 cyclic fashion. Okay, so you just redraw the structure in such a way that it represents it just represents a 4 plus 2 cycloaddition. So just, yeah, like this. So this side we have a triple bond. You just rewrite. Okay, so this is 4 pi system, like 2 pi plus 2 sigma. This is 2 pi. Now you can have other carbons. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Now you think about the in reaction. So what is in reaction? Triple bond will pick up this proton. So the electrons in carbon hydrogen bond will be polarized towards the double bond. Then there will be a bond formation, sigma bond formation between double bond and double bond. Okay. So this is what the in reaction is. So when we write the product, we will write as it is first. We will write the product as it is. So this was the hydrogen transferred from this CO2 Me, CO2 Me. Then we can have other bondings 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how we need to write the product. Once you have the product, now you can rearrange it, right? So you can write it in a zigzag fashion. So it is a E double bond and this is a cis double bond. So I can say Z double bond. Is it? Yeah. So this is an E double bond, this is a Z double bond. So you write it in a long chain fashion so that you will arrive at the product. Okay. So whenever you are writing the products in reaction or electrocyclic reactions, what I suggest you is first take the transition state, write the product accordingly, then rearrange it, okay, in a comfortable fashion. We don't write like this, right? Yeah. So you need to rearrange the product. When we rewrite the product looks like this. So this is the product. In the next example, when we were given these substrates, obviously there is no other reaction possible, either a cycloaddition or any other reaction. So when you think that there is no other reaction, it could be an in reaction. For an in reaction, what we need? We need an allylic system. Yeah, this side or this side. Here also we have a hydrogen allylic carbon and hydrogen on allylic carbon. We have an alkene. It is always a hyd proton which is transferring. Okay, it is not the hydride transfer. It is the proton which will undergo a transfer. Now it is we need to rearrange this. We will rearrange this and we will try to write the product. So in this case, the proton can be picked up by this alkene. So the carbon hydrogen bond will be polarized and this double bond will be polarized to generate a sigma bond. So what is the product? The product is, so this is the new double bond, this is the new sigma bond, and this is 2 carbons, and we also have, this is the product. So that means when we were given the substrates in a direct fashion, we may not write the in product properly. So for that, what we need to do, we will rearrange it in a 4+2 cycloaddition fashion. Then it is easy for us to understand which proton will be leaving and where it will attack and what is the sigma bond, new sigma bond it is going to form. Now I will give you one more example. You try to predict the product. When we want to look at the end product, this is the allylic hydrogen. So this carbon will pick up this allylic hydrogen. These sigma electrons will be polarized and there will be a sigma bond formation like this. So what is the product? This is the new sigma bond which is generated. And this is the new pi bond which is generated. I'll give you one more problem. You practice this. Next example. Please be careful while writing these double bonds. It is not a benzene, remember. What is the product here? You know, if we can release the allylic proton which will involve in this in reaction, then we can easily predict the product. So recognizing the allylic proton is an important part. Here there are two potential allylic hydrogens. So this is an allylic system, this is again an allylic system. If you involve this allylic hydrogen in the in reaction, then the sigma electrons will be polarized towards the double bond. So it generates a double bond here. When we generate a double bond here, it becomes an aromatic system. If you use this allylic hydrogen and polarize the sigma bonds, it is not going to be the aromatic system. So always use such type of stability factors in reactions. So this is the allylic hydrogen which will involve in the in reaction, and there will be a sigma bond formation between this carbon and any one of the carbons. We can also have intramolecular in reaction. So far we have discussed only intermolecular in reactions. In the next example, we will see an intramolecular in reaction. Of course, if you want to write this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the actual molecule. When we heat this, it will undergo cyclization to give this product. I think the double bond is not properly placed, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there should be three. Yeah, there should be three carbons. 1, 2, 3. Now this system, when it is heated, it undergone cyclization. It is an example for intramolecular ene reactions. In the beginning, you may be worried how this cyclization is occurring, but you see, we have a double bond, an allylic system,